You don't even trust us to record your own video? That's right, it's going to be on there, so you're going to have to hear it. That was my favorite part of this video. Are you not squat? It's about to, yes. Very absentee. What? I tried. It's cold.
Oh yeah. And that's the presentation. No, I'm just kidding. I explained it from using timings. Alright, I have to say that from the bottom of my heart, this has been one of the most precious games I've ever played. There hasn't been a game quite like it for me, and I don't know if it'll ever be topped. Everything about Final Fantasy X was just so right. I had a lot of good memories when I played the game, and I learned a lot of really good lessons too that I'll never forget. And for those reasons, I decided it was important to investigate the themes and lessons to learn from Final Fantasy and how special it would be to share with everybody here. I wanted to study the moral and ethical lessons to learn in Final Fantasy X because I want to identify the themes, lessons, and ideas and emotions from the story that made it so driving to play, because I decided it was important to investigate those lessons. Whoops, sorry, I went on the wrong line. Because I believe that those lessons can guide the world from wrong and help make it a better place to live. And I based my research off the developers and voice cast from the game and their bonus DVD, Final Fantasy X Beyond Final Fantasy, as well as using two professors, one from Ohio University, Mia Gonzalez. She is in the School of Telecommunications, works with media and Japanese technology, and as well as one of Dartmouth's professors, Dennis Washburn, and he is a Asian language and literature and Middle Eastern comparative literature professor. And the first part, I'm going to introduce basically the game to you guys if you aren't familiar with it and its importance to the world. And then the second is going to be a quick character analysis, just to get you familiar with the characters in the game. And the main part is going to be the themes and lessons, what to learn from the game, and what the game is about, and then the conclusions. All right, for the introduction, I just wanted to go over a few things of what Final Fantasy achieved, and as well as some fun facts and important information you might not know. And first off, we'll go with the date release. It was released on 4 continents. And does anybody have an idea when it came out in Japan? Sorry?
No, 6th grade.
Oh, Ngo was in 6th grade, yes. It was a little before that. 2000? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It was 2001. It's July 14, 2001. So the game's almost 11 years old. And how about good old America? When do you think it came here? That year? Or? Well, a little bit before. It came out in December, so the same year. And then the last places, they came out on the same day for Europe and Australia. Do you guys have any guesses at all? You had to wait a little while. It was 2002. They got it on May 24th, but it was worth the wait because they got the bonus edition. So it was worth it for them. They got the special ones. Cool fact, you guys know, as far as 2010, does anybody have an idea how many copies the game sold? I'm hearing like whispers. 240 million? Whoa! It actually sold almost 8 million copies worldwide. So, and a cool fact is actually it sold 2 million in the first 4 days in Japan. So they made a lot of money off it. And it was actually, and then the last is what the review was, what the grade was, how good the game people thought it was. It's pretty important when you play video games to not get bad names. Like, oh, I paid $50 for this. This guy will play Frisbee with it now. So does anybody have an idea of what the game got for average review? 9s and 10s, yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with game rankings. They take a bunch of reviews and put them together. And 72 reviews combined to give it almost 92% in the West. And in Japan, with Famitsu, it got almost a 9.7. So, and I wish I got scores like that on my Japanese test. So. All right, now let's get a little serious. Not too serious. It will be the character analysis. I'm going to focus on these two people, Tidus and Yuna, but also give you a brief introduction to the rest, because I have to, in order to be familiar with the story, in order to understand the importance of the lessons in the game. All right, this is Tidus, everybody's favorite guy. He is 17 years old. It's a really cool age. They're always 17. And he's really cool because he's from a dream city. He's actually a dream himself, and the real city got destroyed, but the short story is that he got dreamt up, and so did his city. So he's a dream actually, but you can touch him. And the blitzball you guys saw in the movie, that's their sport. He's the son of a really big blitzball player, and he plays blitzball because he actually wants to outshine his father instead of following his footsteps because his father didn't treat him well at all. And he's just like, this is how I'm getting back and I'm going to be better than him. And that's why he plays blitzball. It's really fun. And Titus, his story is really unique because he was thrown 1,000 years in the future, and because a monster named Sin came and attacked his hometown and destroyed everything, and him and another person were the only ones to make it out alive, and he was thrown into the future by that same monster. I mean, and that gives him a unique perspective because in the new world, everything to him is unbiased. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to get shot 1,000 years in the future. But, oh, whoa, you know, like, what's that? And just his personality is like really is young, excited, aggressive. He always wants to be a part of something, and he's ready to go, and he wants to be the hero. Sometimes that gets him in trouble. Well, actually, a lot of times it does. But he's just a really good guy, and that's his name in Japanese is Tida. And then I actually talked to Fumie, and apparently that's his name in Japanese is Taiyo, and that means sun. So, but so he's the sun. And then the second main character is Yuna. She's also 17 years old, really good age to be in video games. And she's actually one of the most important characters in the game because she's the daughter of a high summoner. And they summon monsters or things called aeons, and they bring them into battle to help them fight against Sin, the big monster that is terrorizing the world. And she actually draws everybody in the game to her for this aspect. And she's a really strong woman who is driven by what her voice actor said, Heidi Burris, as duty, respect, honor, and obligation. She puts others before herself. And she decided to embark on this dangerous journey despite the consequences of fighting sin. Her energy is a strong, gentle, feminine energy that she puts out, and this makes others around her motivated to be around her. She's one of those people that doesn't stand on the sidelines, and she'll let you know what she's thinking in a nice way. Of course, she's very nice. And probably the most controversial aspect of her is she's half Albanian and half human. In the game, these two races don't really like each other. They kind of hate each other. And you can tell that because she actually has two different eye colors. And her situation is really important in the world because she can act as a bridge between the two races. And in the end, it didn't matter who Yuna was or what Yuna was. It was the content of her character was so bright that people looked at her for who she is, not what she is. And her example is a good one our world can learn from. And I could talk about this game for like 10 days straight, but I know you guys got stuff to do. I'm just going to show you all these characters. Everybody, except for this guy, is part of the main party in your game that you play. And they all are brought to the game from Yuna's influence. Let's see. Yeah, and then I guess I'll just briefly introduce Kimari. He's another race. There's actually 4 races in the game, and he's half cat, half human. Don't want to mess with this guy because he's really big, and he'll squish you. He was abandoned by his tribe, and Yuna actually brought him in, and so he's really loyal to her because he got a lot of love from Yuna when he was down. And the other guy that was in Xanarkin with Titus is Orin. He actually is a mentor to him. He traveled back in time to mentor Titus. And when when Sin came, he helped Titus get into the future because he's from this timeline. And then Waka, he also plays blitzball, but he's a religious man. He follows Yevanism. That's what Yuna is. She follows Yevon. And then Lulu is just kind of that older sister that always is making fun of you and doesn't think that you can do it. She's actually really critical of Titus, and she doesn't think he's from Xanarkin right away. And Riku is the first person you see when you get into the New World. And Seymour is just a really bad guy. You don't want to be his friend. He's actually the main bad guy besides Sin. All right. This is where the majority of the presentation will take place, and it's in the themes and lessons. And the themes I'm going to go over are journey, the Asian inspiration, and Titus and the player. Does anybody recognize this? No, it's not Japan. It's yeah, it's right up there. This is the game world. And I thought it'd be just important to give you an idea of what it looks like so you can visualize the journey that they go on. And when Titus arrives in this world, he's in the submerged ruins far away from the land, and that's where Riku actually meets him. And after a few events in the game, he gets transported to Visay, where he meets Yuna, Waka, Kimari, and Lulu, and that's where they start their venture. They get their first Aeon, the spirits that they call into battle to help them. And they have to go to 4 places on the map that are popping up right here to get more Aeons to help them fight Sin. And these are the Aeons right here. And then their ultimate goal is to get up to Xanarkin Ruins, where they get the final Aeon, which destroys Sin. And this is how their journey takes, or this is how they go on the journey. So they get to see the whole world. And then, yep, that's the finish line. And then I was watching the DVD, and the producer Yoshinori Kitase was talking about how it really opened their eyes to the new cultures that they encountered through the game. They got to see everybody, and it really helped them grow. And he also mentioned the hidden themes of the journey, which I'm going to talk about. And the one he was fond of was father and son and father and daughter, since Titus and Yuna both are following their father's footsteps. Oops. Oh, I didn't talk about Sin. Forgive me. And that's what Sin looks like. It's a huge beast. The producer, the Kagushige Nojima, the scenario writer, compared Sin to obstacles in life that we don't take care of. And in the game world, they stop Sin, but they keep letting it happen. So that's what he compared it to. And you can also say he's kind of like a living typhoon. So you don't want to be around him because he just destroys your city. But on the journey, Titus made a lot of new friends, and from different walks of life. He got to open his eyes to the world through exploration, received lessons to live by from people who had been there, and he learned how to love somebody, and as well as learned to love his father again and deal with the struggles like all the bad people that you walk into on Washington Avenue or something. And as well as deal with Sin. And I thought it was good to point out, because we're all on a journey in this room. And even though all of our journeys are different, we all do take one. And, sorry. Yes. Yeah, and Titus is sorry guys. Yep, and yeah, okay, there we go. And Titus makes an example, a good example, because he made the best out of everything on his journey, even in the darkest times. And I think people would be a lot happier if thing is the Asian inspiration that was flowing through the game. And with the previous Final Fantasies, there was more of a sci-fi element, and the Kitase wanted to expand on it. So the team thought it would be good to try Asia, since they're in Asia and they haven't tried it yet. And he believed that staying with the same thing just wouldn't help him advance. And the art director, Yusuke Naoda, agreed with this, and they went on it. And Tetsuya Nomura, does anybody ring a bell, that name? Yep, one few shy hands, like, yep. Yeah, I see a few. He said that the game was inspired by South Asia, like Thailand and the South Pacific, Okinawa. And that's why the game world was so detailed, because they were really inspired by that. And a few examples are just, like, as you can see, like, even the clothing, like Yuna, she's wearing a kimono, but it's got a little bit of a little islander flavor. Okay. And then Waka, he's like an islander, but you can also see he's got a bit of a Japanese samurai influence on his guard right there. And then even the temple right here kind of resembles some of the temples I Googled in Thailand. So. And this is what the Save looks like. That's where Titus meets Yuna. And then this is an island in Okinawa. It's called Miyako Island. So they kind of look a lot like, just to give you an idea. And the Nobuo Uematsu, I'm sure everybody that played Final Fantasy knows him. He did the sound and music for the game, and he was listening to a lot of CDs from the region. And does anybody know Riki? Has anybody heard that Japanese name? No?
My brother's name.
Riki. Your brother sung the game. Well, she's from the region, and she actually ended up singing the main song, Sticky Dane, or Isn't It Wonderful? And the sound editor, Chiharu Minakawa, described the sounds from the game as being from the islands. And I just want to show you a quick video of Titus waking up. I don't know if it'll work. I guess not. It's too bad. And then the third thing is what really made the game special to me, I think, and that's Titus and the player. And that's what Nojima, the scenario writer, really focused on, was how to transform the relationship between the person playing the game and Titus into something new. The unique thing was Titus was reflecting on the past while he was in the game, so you knew what he was thinking at the events of the game. Whenever something would happen, he would recollect on it. Instead of having to interpret yourself, you could feel how he was thinking. And Nojima believes that it actually brings the player closer because you know what they are thinking. And the article by Dennis Washburn said that that was the central component to the game story is through Titus, and that we master the game history and gameplay. Now I'm supposed to be pushing buttons. And while the journey was the main theme of the game, Titus's voice actor, James Arnold Taylor, said the main theme was actually a love story. And everybody loves love stories. And Titus and Yuna actually learned a lot from each other. They learned how to fall in love. And Yuna's gentle energy helped drive Titus throughout the game. And she actually was staying positive and excited through Titus being all wacky and stuff. And along the journey, he learned how to be more responsible, learned how to be a leader, and learned how to follow his heart and make decisions that way. And getting to know Titus for me was, I really wanted to follow his example. And I ended up becoming a better person because I played this game. And I took to heart all the lessons in the game that you could learn. And I think I try to be as free-hearted as Titus every day, and I think everybody in the world could benefit if they try to be free-hearted and carefree. All right, conclusions. If you made it this far, I think I've done something right. I don't see anybody sleeping, so. I just want to give you the key points from this presentation in order for you to take something away. I guess the first thing I learned was life is a journey. And like I said, while nobody's journey is the same, we all do take one. And I think it's best to live to the fullest. And that's what Final Fantasy X is all about, just having a good time, even in a really cruddy situation. And then try new things. Like, if the team didn't try out this new Asian inspiration, who knows where the series would have gone, if it would have even stayed afloat or whatever they would have done, but it really worked out. And I think people would benefit from that too, trying new things. And then just be yourself, because Titus and Yuna made a lot of mistakes on their journey, but they learned from them every time. And that's why they ended up succeeding and saving the world, because they learned from their mistakes, but they did it in their own way. And if you guys do that too, maybe you'll save the world someday. And then the last thing to take away from the game is live the Final Fantasy. The executive producer and creator, Hironobu Sakaguchi, explained that what Final Fantasy meant to him is when to give it all of our energy and expend all of our skills until we can't go any further, to challenge oneself to no end. That's the Final Fantasy. So after you guys leave tonight, I just want to please ask yourself a question: how will you live the Final Fantasy? Thank you. We got time?
Question time. Yeah, we have time. So while we're switching computer, you can.
Yeah. I have no questions. Yeah, go ahead.
The story, we didn't see much transfer from the older generation to the new one. For example, there wasn't much about the appearance of the main characters, where, what idea or influences the transfer to them. Was there anything like that?
Well, they're mainly from the southern island of the state, except for, I believe, one character in the party. And along the way, the party kind of sees the whole world. So that'd be like if somebody from Minnesota went all across the world with a bunch of their friends. That's kind of what the game is about, just exploring the world with your friends. And the game is based on pretty much like island themes. I had a lot of stuff, but I had to cut a lot of it out. A lot of really cool pictures. But yeah, I mean, if you play the game, you'll get to see a lot of stuff. So, but I just wanted to go over the journey theme.
I was also trying to understand the main character said he was thrust 1,000 years into the future, and I was trying to understand the scene. Who was the dad character? What was the conflict? Or was he just a bad person who would look for conflict? Or because I didn't see how he was being destroyed if he did not present a threat to him. But in fact, he did present a threat.
Well, the history behind Sin is actually there was two cities, Zanarkand and Babel. And Zanarkand was a city that used Aeons, like the monsters that they summoned. And Babel was a city that was machine-based. They were kind of like the technologically advanced society, and they were at war with each other. And Zanarkand was going to be destroyed, so their leader, Yevon, actually got all the surviving people together and created this huge Aeon, and that was Sin. And Sin had two objectives, and that was to protect Zanarkand at all costs, and to destroy any city that used Machina, that were the machines. And Yevon joined with Sin, but Sin was too powerful to control, and he ended up just indiscriminately killing everybody. So when that happened, the Dream City Zanarkand was also attacked. I forgot to say that Zanarkand was attacked, and so was the Dream City. So two cities got attacked. And Babel became the capital for Yevonism, the religion. So it was kind of like a takeover of that. And the Albed, or the machine users, were kind of rogue, and they were kind of hated by most of the world. But in the end, everybody just wanted to beat Sin, and that's kind of the story of Sin. I was going to talk about it, but I figured if people wanted to know more, we'd delve into it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Last question?
So, recently there's been news that there's going to be a Final Fantasy X HD remake, and there has been a lot of disappointment because a lot of Final Fantasy fans wanted a Final Fantasy VII remake. So, what do you think about that? Like, I know Final Fantasy X is like one of the greatest games for me, and I wouldn't care if either one gets like remade. But what do you think?
I think it's really good. I mean, 7 has like a movie, it has like 2 or 3 games in it. I think the main reason they're doing it is because it's a little cheap, and they'll know people will buy it. I think like a lot of people did love 7, but I think it's better to keep it in that time, like to keep it original, because like I've played remakes I don't know if anybody's played Metal Gear Solid, like the Twin Snakes or anything. It just doesn't feel the same. Like it's not really. They said it's more of just a re-release, so they're just kind of making it look pretty, put makeup on it.
I think I read the article saying it's cheaper to redo 10 than 7.
Yeah.
Because graphic is already better.
Yeah, and I mean it'll probably look better than most PS3 games. So. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening to me, and I hope I made you laugh.